Welcome, I'm Glynn, and this is BINBUSTER, where I buy, watch, review budget bin movies for you. Today's movie is none other than that Dollar Tree Blu-ray. John dies at the end. Just so you know, they're sorry for anything that's about to happen. A new drug promises an out-of-body experiences, but users are coming back changed forever, and an otherworldly invasion of Earth is underway. That's right. This movie screams. When you first look at it, you're like, oh, it kind of screams evolution. Like, you see the bugs are eight-legged freaks, stuff like that. But as you actually dive into the movie and watch it, it actually screams more like Shaun of the Dead, the Coronado trilogy, that feature Shaun of the Dead, World's End, and Hot Fuzz. I love those movies, so I came into this one, I'm like, as soon as I put it in and started watching, I'm like, this reminds me of that. So, in other words, I'm going to give you my good, my bad, my thoughts, and my overall ratings on this movie. So let's get to it. Good? The zaniness. A creature created from food that is in a freezer, and it fights our heroes. These two guys right here are our heroes. So, what happens is, they're in this house, and the freezer gets done, and all this food comes down, and then it starts growing into a monster. Screams X-Files to me, but it's just zany and crazy out there, so I kind of like that. The girl at the beginning kind of explodes, the girl whose house there kind of explodes it to a bunch of snakes. Yeah, you see where this is going just by these two things. Giant bugs and more. It's like evolution meets supernatural. Exactly. It's the movie Evolution with David Duchovny and Orlando Jones. Features into supernatural with the Winchesters, with Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. So that's it right there. It's quirky. Think of it compared to, like I said, Shaun of the Dead or some other Edgar Wright films. This is based off of an adaptation of Don Coscarelli's book of the same name. David Wong, yes, our hero right here, this guy right here, our hero, is named David Wong. He's a white guy named David Wong. Yes. That's how crazy this gets. Starts in a promising way. The style that calls back much grounded yet zany version of Sam Raimi and some of Edgar Wright's sensibilities are thrown in the mix. Especially stuff like Ash vs. the Evil Dead, The World's End. But rather than focusing on zombies and aliens, this movie is filled with a lot of wacky creatures, from insects to evil flies. Exactly. And meat monsters and as well. This has it all. It's zaniness, comedy. I read somewhere that somebody thought that this should be Chris Pine and Paul Rudd, or Channing Tatum and Paul Rudd, because they thought it would be a much better movie. I kind of disagree with that aspect of it, but to each their own. I thought the cast was good in here. Paul Giamatti has a cameo, but he gets fourth billing. He has a cameo. He's pretty much only in the cameo scenes in here, but it's zany. I won't discuss too much about his character, but yeah, it gets weird with him. The other good, like I said, is Paul Giamatti, and Doug Jones is in here. You know Doug Jones from, he was in Hellboy, Shape of Water. He played the Shape of Water. He played the Shape there. He played Silver Surfer. Very prolific sci-fi actor who does a lot of costuming, makeup stuff. He's known very well. He's in this movie too. He doesn't get billing, but he's in this movie. He plays one of the guys who's trying to get our heroes into the other dimension to try and save our Earth. Yeah, it happens. It all started. As stated, there's a drug. As I stated earlier, there's a drug that causes people issues who take it. It's called soy sauce. I'm not kidding. The drug is literally called soy sauce. I knew I hated that stuff. The soy sauce didn't choose you. You couldn't see the door or in another dimension. There's this in the mall. The soy sauce chose our two heroes because they were the only two not affected by it. But they see this magical door that leads to this other dimension. But they can't open it. Amy, their only female friend in this movie, can open it. But she can't see it. She puts on these 3D glasses. You know, the kind that you see in movies? The like red and blue ones? Yeah. She puts those on and, oh, she can see this door. This is hilarious right now. But she can open it. Why? Because we find out she has a prosthetic hand. They don't dive into it at all in the movie. They don't even hardly show us the hand. She just takes off the hand. She has a go. She puts it in. It becomes a ghost limb. Yeah, it's that zany. She opens up this door and our heroes go through. Whoop. She either loses or born without it. We don't know. It's not specified in the movie. This was based, like I said, by David Wong, who's the main character of this movie. I like that little thing. Oh, and Paul Giamatti is writing the book that this whole experience is based off. So you were pretty much Paul Giamatti and David Wong in here telling this story, which was kind of good. Now it's the bad. I don't want to spoil anything, but I dislike things that are misleading. I'll just leave that right there. I dislike things that are misleading. That's it. Where it started to lose me was towards the end. The plot gets very convoluted, and so many other monsters and lore to the story, as the CGI, which started pretty B-level, gets more and more uneven. Yeah, the CGI started as B-level grade, not very good, and then it just gets a lot worse as the movie progresses. It's like, oh, we need to go to this climax, but we ran out of money. Let's just do this. That's what it seemed like to me. The editing also starts to fail and gets more amateurish. In many ways, it feels like they're trying to fit the original story, and it's many other sequels into just one film. Yeah, there's a lot of other sequels to John Must Die, written by David Wong. But it seemed like they try to crash it all into one because their dimension thing doesn't happen in the first story. The first story is the build-up to the soy sauce and how that plays into effect. And then from there, it goes into the other dimensions and how they save those dimensions. They tried too much with that, and that was my bad. All in all, while it starts to crumble towards the end, thanks to some great performance within the realms of the genre, a very good script, and while Paul Giamatti's most underrated cameos, it kind of saved the movie. And because of that, you know what? Because of that, I give this a 3.5 stars. Yeah, this zany Edgar Wright-less, Simon Pegg-less, Nick Frost-less, Paul Rudd-less comedy actually works. I'm kind of happy about that. This comedy works, and I'm happy that I was only able to find it at Dollar Tree. If you guys want to go out there, go to your local Dollar Tree. See if you can find this title. It's only $1. It's worth the 3.5 stars for this is worth the $1 plus tax. It's worth it. So go get it. Find John Dies at the End. If you like zany comedies like the Simon Pegg films of World's End, The Cornetto Trilogy, Ash and the Evil Dead, John Must Die, John Dies at the End is for you. Find it at your local Dollar Tree. Make it a movie night. And always remember, ladies and gentlemen, to dive right in.